Outside Missouri's capital of St. Louis lies a stretch of road known as the Rock Hollow Trail, but which is more commonly called Zombie Road by locals and those familiar with its history. The road's history, like all of North America, begins with the many Native American tribes who carved out a path on it centuries before any European stepped foot in the area. Then, in the 1700s and 1800s, Europeans started moving into the area, fighting and taking the land from the tribes. They built settlements close by, using the path to hunt game from time to time, but it was until 1861, when the Civil War broke out, that efforts were made to turn it into a settled place. A railroad was constructed, many men losing their lives working on the line, both from freak accidents to raids by rebel forces. Not long after these men died, surviving railroad workers started to report hearing strange crying coming from the forest around them, and the sound of boots crunching leaves and other natural debris. These sounds occurred in the day and at night. The workers never saw who or what made them, but became convinced they were made by their deceased comrades. Following the end of the Civil War, families began moving into the area. Some of these reported seeing odd lights floating about the woods at night, dipping down between branches and into the earth only to reappear moments later. These incidents, while not an everyday occurrence, happened enough to earn the area a reputation of being haunted. More work on the road in the 1890s disturbed an ancient native grave, giving rise to sightings of a native warrior holding a spear, stalking the forest at dusk, singing his death song. In 1950, in nearby St. Louis, a man escaped from a mental institution and fled into the countryside, trekking through the wilderness until he reached Zombie Road, where he decided, for whatever reason, to take up residence. At first, no one knew he was there, the man never venturing out during daytime. But after 2 weeks, locals heard high-pitched whines coming from the road. No one investigated it, believing the sound belonged to some unfortunate animal. A month later, 2 high school students, wanting to prove the legends wrong, hiked into Zombie Road, stumbling into an old abandoned shack left over from Civil War days. They didn't know the man was using it as a home. He killed them with a rusted knife and butchered their bodies for food. What remained of the students were found 4 days later, their murderer long gone. It was only after this incident that the authorities put 2 and 2 together. But they never found the man. He seemingly disappeared into the ether, never to be heard of again. In the present day, those who hike the trail claim to experience cold spots, feeling they are being watched from someone out of view. At night, those brave enough to traverse it say you can see the ghosts of Civil War soldiers walking the trail, or up on the hillsides, trying to find a way back home. The shack where the students lost their lives is said to be lived in by an old, decrepit woman. No one knows who she is or how she got there. But if you get too close, she'll screech at you to leave her alone, banging on the windows with her hands.